Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children has confirmed 4 new coronavirus cases, bringing the tally to 24 since the outbreak of the virus in the country. In a written statement, the Minister of Health, Umi Mwalimu, said 2 of the coronavirus cases are from Tanzania mainland, where one of the cases is a 41-year-old Tanzanian entrepreneur from Mwanza who flew back from Dubai on 24th of March through Julius Nyerere International Airport before traveling to Mwanza on the 29th of March, where he was tested and found to have been infected with the coronavirus. She said the other case was of a 35-year-old Tanzanian man, an entrepreneur from Dar es Salaam. The other 2 cases are from Zanzibar. The government has told Parliament that it has formed a special task force which will assess effects of the coronavirus, after which it will come up with strategies aimed at dealing with the virus. This was revealed by the Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Philip Mpango, when winding up budget estimates for the Prime Minister's office in Dodoma.
Serikali imeunda kikosi kazi cha wataalamu.
The government has formulated a team of specialists who are doing research on economical impacts of this disease. This work will be a foundation of setting up plans of combating economical impacts of this pandemic.
Tatizo kubwa ambalo nimeona kwenye hii bajeti.
People take this problem just like business as usual, while right now we're facing the challenge of coronavirus.
Tatizo ambayo ni makubwa, tuna tatizo la corona ambalo ni tatizo sio la liko hapa, ni tatizo halisi.
The immigration officers at Sirari border post in Tarime district Mara region along the border between Kenya and Tanzania have arrested 14 nationals from Kenya from the same family who fled their country after a neighbor was alleged to have died from coronavirus. The 14 people entered Tanzania illegally on motorcycles and were noticed by residents when they were trying to hire a vehicle to take them to Serengeti district.
Na watu wanaovuka mpaka kwa kupitia njia za panya. Hiyo yenyewe tu ni uvunjifu wa taratibu na sheria. Mpaka upo, maafisa wapo, msaada kutoka kwa maafisa wetu utatolewa kwa wale wote ambao wanataka kuingia Tanzania.
Tumepata taarifa kutoka kwa raia wema kwamba kuna
We received information from Good Samaritans that there are Kenyans who have entered the country through illegal routes and were at bus station looking for transport to go to Mgumu. Immediately we sent a police force team to find out the truth, where they were found in a minibus heading to Mgumu and immediately arrested. The bus was then escorted to the police station to be sprayed with antiviral spray to make sure that the bus is safe to continue with its activities. In our investigation, these people agreed to be nationals from Kenya. They were in a group of 13 people, all from the same family.
hapa kwa ajili ya kuja kuspray kuondoa kama kuna wadudu na nini kuwaua.
The Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has directed regional commissioners to strengthen security at all quarantine centers and to ensure no one leaves in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa gave the directive in Dodoma when addressing regional commissioners and defense and security committees from Arusha, Rukwa, Katavi, Dar es Salaam, Tanga, Mtwara, Mara, Coast, Ruvuma, Mwanza, Kilimanjaro, Mbeya, Kagera, Kigoma and Songwe regions.
Experience ya namna tunavyofanya kazi kwenye maeneo yetu. Na mimi niendelee kukiri kwamba kazi kubwa mnaifanya.
We have earned more experience on how to operate, and I commend the efforts done. Let us carry on so that we could protect the whole nation. History shows that most cases are coming from outside the country. Meanwhile, there are no international flights coming into the country except one airline, which is Ethiopia Airline, according to the Regional Commissioner of Dar es Salaam. A few days ago, the airline landed in Dar es Salaam with only 19 passengers who are all in mandatory quarantine in our isolation centers. I urge you to be keen enough on standards of these isolation centers, including proper guarding measures, so that these people should not leave until they have complete their days of being in quarantine.
Sisitiza kwamba tuendelee kuimarisha isolation zetu na tujitahidi tuweke viwango.
Farmers from Garinaro ward in Babati town, Manyara region have expressed concern on hippopotamus invasions on their farms causing destruction on crops. They have called on the government to intervene and address the problem.
Boko huwa wanatuathiri kwa kula mahindi na tunalala nje.
The hippopotamus largely affect us by eating maize. We sleep outside hunting for them. Although they are capable of killing us during the patrols, they eat all of our food and leave us in hunger.
Nataka kushauri serikali kama ingewezekana hao viboko kama kuna namna ya kuwahamisha wahamishwe ili kupunguza idadi kubwa iliyopo.
Tulifanya katika vikao vyetu vya huduma ya jamii.
In our social services meeting, we addressed the problem to our member of parliament, who sent the grievances to the parliament. Fortunately, the minister responsible responded to come and harvest them, but nothing has been done yet. The Minister of Works, Transport and Communication, Engineer Isaac Kamwelwe, has directed implementation of new registration regulations for drivers and conductors of commuter buses so that they are recognized legally. Minister Kamwelwe gave the directives in Dar es Salaam to the Land Transport Regulatory Authority, LATRA, when launching new uniforms for commuter bus drivers and conductors. Most service providers are involved, including Uber drivers, Bajaji taxi drivers. I am aware that motorcycle drivers are notorious for breaking road safety laws, where we have come up with stern measures to address that, including heavy fines.
Bora tuongeze gharama kidogo tupate uniform zilizokuwa sahihi na nzuri na ambazo hasa tuletea changamoto ya uchafu.
These uniforms are of good quality and will not bring a challenge of smartness. Our common problem of drivers and conductors is cleanliness, although their working conditions are persuading that. We are grateful for the changes.
Na niseme tu kwamba kwa siku ya kwanza na ya pili mabasi 24 walikuja kuchukua leseni na tumeendelea weekend kutoa leseni. Ni imani yangu kwamba mpaka leo hii kutakuwa na mabasi mengi ambayo wamiliki wameshapewa leseni za muda.
The Controller and Auditor General Charles Kichere said the government audit report for the financial year ending June 2019 reveals that 17.41 billion shillings from domestic revenue was not channeled to development projects, and that 3.58 billion shillings was paid to contractors without implementation or performance evaluation on projects. Findings revealed that 109.4 billion shillings was collected by 60 local government authorities, where 43 billion shillings was to be directed for development projects following 2018-2019 budget plan strategies. Meanwhile, 26.3 billion shillings was used for development projects with a deficit of 17.2 billion shillings. Till 30th of June 2019, Social Security funds owed the government, along with its institutions, a total of 2.42 trillion shillings, where NSSF owed 1.47 trillion, PSSF 731 billion shillings, and NHIF 220 billion shillings. The amount of money that has been mentioned is all about trillions of shillings. Honorable CAG, some institutions have dared to remove its internal auditors because they shared with us information that they never wanted us to be aware of. The ambassador of Tanzania in China, Mbelwa Kairuki, has clarified on the vaccine trial conducted in the country, alleged to have been tried on Tanzanian students.
Wiki hii pamekuwa na taarifa ambazo zimeenea kwenye mitandao ya kijamii.
This week, there has been reports that were disseminated on social media that there shall be an exercise of COVID-19 trial vaccine, with rumors that African university students are going to be forced to take the vaccine. The truth is, since the pandemic erupted in December, a lot of universities and research institutions have been trying to come up with vaccine for COVID-19, where one institution has succeeded, and the exercise of giving vaccine began last month in Wuhan. 180 volunteers were given the vaccine and remained in observation for 14 days. Among the 108 people, there is no one from Tanzania nor any student from Africa.
Na hivyo wako kwenye hatua ya kuanza majaribio.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. In international news, the government of Democratic Republic of Congo has decided to partially lock down some towns, regions and villages as the number of confirmed coronavirus cases goes up to 168, with 18 reported deaths. I felt bad because all the dreadful conditions and diseases attack us. We just had Ebola and this coronavirus.
Sasa kwa ujumbe tunaoga kubwa sana.
We are living in fear. How are we going to survive in Beni? Nothing has been sorted in Butembo and Beni. For how long are we going to live like this? President Uhuru Kenyatta on Monday announced new stay-at-home measures to ensure that COVID-19 pandemic was contained. The measures include a partial lockdown in 4 counties of Nairobi, Metropolitan, Kilifi, Kwale and Mombasa counties. In a presidential address at the State House in Nairobi, President Kenyatta announced that he would use any legal means necessary to secure the safety of Kenyans.
That Kenyans should wear masks while in public places. I know that there will be thousands of tailors from all over the country who will also look to make these masks, and we encourage them to do so. The Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Industry and Trade will endeavor to ensure that all these tailors are provided with the right information through the national government administrative officers on the kind of materials required and the proper method of piecing the fabrics together to make the face masks and to ensure that they are effective.
The Security Department in Uganda has announced that it has sent military and police officers to implement patrols and arrest anyone found in crowds of more than 5 people. This move comes when the number of coronavirus cases has reached 52.
While jogging,
we are aware that physical exercises are good for human health, but safety measures must be considered while conducting the activities. Many have turned the routine to be a conducive environment for gatherings. In this case, we shall do all that is possible to fulfill President's directive of reducing social gatherings. Citizens of Burundi have been called on not to fear nationals who are returning from Tanzania, where they have been living as refugees, as measures are being taken to screen them before being repatriated. The Burundi refugees are returning after being sheltered at Nduta, Nyarugusu and Mtendeli camps in Tanzania. Stern measures were taken in Tanzania so that spread of the virus could be contained. Screening is necessary and repatriation is mandatory because we only need people who are safe from the virus. We have arrived home safely and calling our fellows who are still in camps to come back home. Peace has been restored. There is nothing to worry about. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. Traders at Kamanga Fish Market in Mwanza region have said that the fish business has been affected with the coronavirus outbreak, which has caused the number of customers visiting the market to drop. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, this tilapia is now sold at 7,000 shillings from 15,000 shillings because of poor business environment. Customers are scarce. They don't come as how they used to. This situation is difficult. We have about 100 kilograms of fish with no enough customers to buy them. Entrepreneurs with physical disabilities and producers of various goods have called on the government to consider removing some taxes on raw materials as businesses have been affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Our clients no longer show up due to the ongoing coronavirus. Not only us, several hospitality places have been closed down, affecting us producers of wine, peanut butter, and pickles. Honestly, incomes of entrepreneurs have been badly hit following this outbreak. Our customers' number is not as high as it was before. Many people are now staying at home, while others have run to their home regions. As entrepreneurs, our businesses are affected, making our sources of income remaining small every day. We are calling on the government to help us economically. And Cooperative Union in Singida region has started to buy green grams from farmers through the warehouse receipt system, which will address the problem of dealers buying from farmers at meager prices. Some of businessmen used to exploit those below them. something that even our president has realized and warned such acts. Everybody must benefit, from farmers to traders. The system must be implemented throughout the country. And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose some length.
Welcome back, and in sports news, Tanzania Mainland League champions Simba SC might reduce the salaries of their players if the coronavirus pandemic is not contained soon. Here's more on the story.
COVID-19 has affected many leagues in the world, and as a result, most have been suspended. It is not yet clear when the situation will normalize, and many clubs have been crippled financially since they've lost their match-day revenue. Wekundu wa Msimbazi Simba CEO Senzo Masingiza has, however, made it clear the club's board has not discussed following suit yet.
Aston Villa striker Mbwana Samatta has named his all-time best foreign players who have played in Tanzania Mainland League from 2010 to 2019, with most players being in the recent Simba squad.
Samatta played for African Lyon and Simba before heading to TP Mazembe, and the rest is history, as the striker now is the only Tanzanian to have scored in the UEFA Champions League, the Premier League, and the Carabao Cup final, which was played at the Wembley Stadium. The Taifa Stars captain has a youngest Yo Berko in goal, with Joseph Owino, who he played with, and the current Simba skipper Pascal Wawa in central defense, and Ibrahim Shikandra and Mbuyu Tuite finalizing the defense. In midfield, Samatta named Clatous Chama, who played a great role in Simba's success last season, as well as Jerry Santo and Patrick Ochan. Up front, as expected, the Bagala kid couldn't leave Emmanuel Okwi, with Haruna Niyonzima and the current leading goal scorer Medi Kagere.
Premier League clubs anticipate having to start individual negotiations over wage reductions with their players after attempts to reach a collectively pay agreement in response to the coronavirus crisis were frustrated during talks on Saturday. Here are more details.
While players have been told clubs may lose £1.137 billion because of the disruption caused by the pandemic, the Professional Footballers Association has responded to the Premier League's proposals of 30% pay cut by saying that it will be detrimental on the NHS. The proposal will be discussed among squads with a view to reaching a collective agreement by the end of the week, but the PFA has remained defiant in the face of mounting pressure, arguing cuts will lead to £200 million tax deficit. There was hope before Saturday's conference call, which involved managers, captains and representatives of all 20 Premier League clubs, that an agreement will be reached over wage reductions, the Pharaohs of a combination of both.
Bayern Munich have trained in small groups today after the club confirmed Hansi Flick's first-team squad would follow the German government's guidance on coronavirus precautions. Here's the story.
The Bundesliga was suspended on March 13th, initially until April 2nd, but a meeting of clubs on March 31st extended the suspension to April 30th at the earliest. A statement on Bayern's official website on Sunday urged supporters to stay away from the training ground as the players returned to work. The club's return to training is in line with the Dutch Football Liga DFL recommendation that teams take a break from training until April 5th. Bayern's statement continued, training will take place with no members of the public present.
League One side Stade de Reims are in shock tonight after club doctor Bernard Gonzalez tragically committed suicide after contracting coronavirus. Here's more on the story.
To reliable reports in Le Parisien, the 60-year-old took his own life at home on Sunday afternoon, linking his death with COVID-19. It is understood he was in quarantine with his wife, who also had the virus, when the devastating incident occurred. He is believed to have written a suicide note, explaining the reasons he killed himself. Gonzalez's death has said to have caused heartbreak throughout the city in northern France, according to its mayor Arnaud Robinet.
And our sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.